Welcome to another in the series of Mystical Perspective. I'm your host, Reverend Cindy Paulos, and I've been doing weekly broadcasts from Dr. Paul Leon Masters' book, Spiritual Mind Power Affirmations. I take a page from the affirmation book and study it and meditate on it and write some words down and see what comes. Dr. Masters' books are on metaphysics.com. And the lectures that he gave on the subject are on metaphysics.com /Paul-Leon-lectures. Also, Dr. Masters, there's been another release of a new book. It's called Meditation Dynamics, and they're all on metaphysics.com and Amazon. You can find them in both places. Today we're going to discuss another page. It's on Unseen Mysteries Affecting Your Life. And I'll read the affirmations first, and then I'll go into the subject a little deeper. This is from page 54, if you have the book. Unseen Mysteries Affecting Your Life. The first one's one life. I understand that ultimately there is but one mind in this universe, manifesting as everything and everyone, including myself. It's a very powerful affirmation, isn't it? We're all one. And we know this through energy. We know this through the power of understanding even science, that there's atoms, and the atoms are all connected, and they're all part of the oneness of the universe. So we can put this to work in this affirmation, repeating one more time. I understand that ultimately there is but one mind in this universe, manifesting as everything and everyone, including myself. Now, if we were to take this one affirmation, we could understand forgiveness. We could understand how to have peace. We could understand how to become that Christ-like energy. We could understand the power of God. The next affirmation is one mind. I understand that ultimately there is but one life in this universe, providing consciousness to what seems to be many minds. Okay, so we just did one life. This one's one mind. The power of the universal consciousness, also tied into the cosmic consciousness. Repeating this. I understand that ultimately there is but one life in this universe, providing consciousness to what seems to be many minds. You know, when we look at the world from outer space and we see the picture of the planet, this is so easy to understand from a distance. Remember that Bette Midler song? From a distance we can understand the oneness, but when we get down to the details of the minutiae and our individuation, all of a sudden there's this separateness, and our own individual personalities and egos want to take over. The next one's my existence. I understand that ultimately I exist as a thought form, energy, in the mind of God, inseparable from the mind of God. Repeating that. I understand that ultimately I exist as a thought form, energy, in the mind of God, inseparable from the mind of God. So when we as individuals have thoughts, there are thoughts that come and go. They're clouds drifting through our mind. And what if we were to take ourselves out of ourselves and put ourselves in the place of God? And the various dreams that were created from that one creation, the Creator, all part of this one existence. The next one's the universe. I understand that the physical universe is the physical manifestation of the mind of God, in which I have my beingness on a physical level. From the Bible, Acts 17:21, within him we move, live, and have our being. Think about that for a second. We're moving and living and having our being all within this universe, which is the manifestation of the mind of God. And we are all connected as one in this. Repeating the universe, I understand that the physical universe is the physical manifestation of the mind of God, in which I have my beingness on a physical level. Within him we move, live, and have our being. Acts 17:21. So we're all playing out this energy dance, this game of life, all within this energy interaction, which has to do with the physical universe. And the next one is energy interaction. I understand that the outer energy factors of my mind may be affected by environmental energies and also by the ultimate primal inner energy, or God, through intuitive disclosure and guidance. Now, if we think about how we see the cycles, the seasons, how we see the full moons, how we have more spiritual interaction during the full moons, this is all part of that energy interaction of the environment, right? And when there's environmental catastrophes, we're all affected. We all do more prayers. There's this energy that goes out to the people. We feel their sufferings. There was an earthquake recently, and before I heard about it in the news, or before it even happened, I had finished meditating, and the word earthquake came to my mind. How did I know that there was an earthquake? I hadn't read it. I hadn't heard about it. But indeed, it might have even been before it happened. I knew there was this earthquake. We're all part of this energy interaction. Repeating this affirmation, energy interaction. I understand that the outer energy factors of my mind may be affected by environmental energies and also by the ultimate primal inner energy, or God, through intuitive disclosure and guidance. So going into that thought again, is the power of the oneness of God affected by a higher energy as well? Is there an evolution going on not only in our world but in God's world? Is God evolving as well? We know that as we discover the universe is evolving. Many scientists say we're speeding up and expanding as well. So what happens when God does that? And is that interacted with God's energy? Is it a reflection of that? The next one is meditation. I understand that through my daily practice of meditation, I'm more open to the inner workings of consciousness within me, so that my outer mind's energies are more affected by God's presence, containing guidance, healing, love, wisdom, and creativity. And it can differ, just as everything in the universe differs and evolves. So does our meditation. Our meditations may not always be the same. We like the ones in meditation where we're feeling bliss and love but sometimes our meditations are learning and absorbing and transforming ourselves as well. Meditations also evolve. Repeating this affirmation, I understand that through my daily practice of meditation, I more open the inner workings of consciousness within me, so that my outer mind energies are more affected by God's presence containing guidance, healing, love, wisdom, and creativity. So just as we get dressed in the morning and put on our clothes and get ourselves ready and put on our happy face and go out, so we can do the same thing on an inner level with our meditations. We meditate and we can do a mindset. We can set our intention for the day. We can have our motivation for the day. We can get our guidance for the day. I get daily messages I write down every day. So this is a sacred time every morning. I do it early. This morning I got up at about 3:15. I was trying to go back to sleep for a while, and I said, why, just get up and meditate. Telepathic interactions. I understand that there is contact interaction of energies between myself, others, and the psychic energy of my outer environment that can affect me positively or negatively. Okay, this is going back, if we're all one in one part of one energy, of course there would be telepathic interactions, right? I mean, sometimes we don't realize that. This is so funny. Yesterday I was doing yoga, and the yoga teacher said, imagine any being of high that you admire or respect. And we did exercises kind of directing that energy of how we'd be with that high being. Well, did that for about 15-20 minutes, and at the end she asked the class, this is a yoga class of people, some I know, some I don't know, and it was amazing. In the class there were 6 people, and there were only about 15, just about 12 people in the class. In the class, half of the people, I myself called in Jesus Christ, and in the class there were also 6 other people that also called in Jesus Christ, which really shocked me, because these are people I didn't necessarily think would be doing that. But I think that when one person calls it in, the others call it in, the other thought telepathically goes out, and everyone kind of catches that. So that presence of Christ was in that room, and I'm sure some of it was telepathically brought about, where people somehow in that yoga state was able to receive that. So repeating this affirmation, I understand that there is contact interaction of energies between myself, others, and the psychic energy of my outer environment that can affect me positively or negatively. Okay, so we did the positive about the negative. Okay, all you have to do is think about being on the Ventura Highway or a highway in Los Angeles if you've been there. If you haven't been there, any other place that has a traffic jam. As people get more and more upset by traffic, and then you start hearing, maybe horns honking, or then you start to feel this antagonism and this anger building up and this impatience, right? And it can happen in a traffic jam as more and more people get upset, right? It can happen in a concert. People can be uplifted or kind of brought down by the energy being projected. The next affirmation is aura of light. I understand that to safeguard myself from negative energy, I daily visualize a white protective aura of God's light surrounding my body from being negatively affected by others. This is good to do in the morning when you've meditated. I do it every morning when I meditate. I put that white light, that protective light around me. I call on Archangel Michael. I see the light above me and below me, in front of me and behind me, to the sides of me. And it's a white light that I put around. And Dr. Master says here, put on your armor of light from Romans 13:12. And that's what it is. You put on that armor of light and protection. Repeating this affirmation, I understand that to safeguard myself from negative energy, I daily visualize a white protective aura of God's light surrounding my body from being negatively affected by others. Put on your armor of light. There was this wonderful book I got from Dr. Masters years ago. We studied it. I think I was 18 years old, maybe younger. And it was the book was called The Armor of Light by Olive Pixley. It's out of print now, and there's only a couple of copies left. I've got 2 of them. They were going for $65 a piece. But they're very powerful, and the book is The Armor of Light, and it really ties into that exercises you can do to put on the light energy and to connect with the highest light energy. The next and last affirmation is daily declaration. I am affected in all that I think, say, feel, and do by the light of God's presence at the center of my mind, every moment of every day, consciously or unconsciously. Repeating that, I am affected in all that I think, say, feel, and do by the light of God's presence in the center of my mind, every moment of every day, consciously or unconsciously. Again, this is a good thing to do in the morning so that throughout the day you can let that light, even when you're in the midst of something, continue to spread and protect you and give you inspiration and guidance when you may need it. So I wrote this after meditating for a while this last week about this subject. If I am one with the universe, what part of me do I choose to be? What manifestation of the dream fits inside this limited personality? Why put any limitations on what we can perceive when I am in this life on earth with you, and you are somehow here at the same time sharing this mutual energy we both breathe in to be? If I throw off any judgment, if I release any definition in my mind of what I think I am and what I expect is my role in life, if for just a moment we could really try to find the truth of this infinity that carries us here in this space and time, if we choose to experience what we really are here for and discover what our purpose really is, we can perceive the one universal light of the I am that I am, which is what I am. We all know the I am that I am is that presence. That's the God, the I am that I am, which is what I am. If I am that same I am is God living here in all of life. We can share this moment of recognition that we each experience in life. The miracle right now of Spirit's breath and the blessings of being alive. Very much a blessing. So realize that you really are never alone. We are all part of creation's universal oneness. We are all one with the totality of life. And we can embrace that universal identity. And that is possible through our soul, which leads us back to the infinite awareness. We can then call upon our higher self to let ourselves see the bigger picture, just like we were an astronaut up in space and looked down on one of us here, a speck, a little tiny dot, amidst the whole of this planet. Realize that you are one with God, and of course God is alive in everything. Give thanks to God for the oneness of all life, really. Just always be grateful for the oneness of all of this. These words came to me, and I was in meditation. Beloved child of God, you are not alone on this long path of life you're on. You will discover we are all one. If you could but stop and see, there are guardian angels watching over thee. And God is here right now, in this very moment, if you can believe in the Spirit that's alive in everything. Look up to the heavens and see the billions of stars. There are universes upon universes that are there for you to explore. If we can step out of our ego and open up our eyes, there's so much more that's going on. If we take the time to meditate and open up our inner mind, there are celestial dimensions, there are lifetimes of the soul, and God will reveal them in time when we seek, and indeed we shall one day find. There is but one energy existing in myriad ways that we can experience in life, infinite in so many creative displays. Yes, we are not alone. Just look into the highest consciousness and you'll be amazed at what you find. And with God there, you can connect and discover this brand new life. So let's do a brief meditation. Let's take a few deep breaths. Breathe in, hold for a minute, or maybe a few seconds. Breathe out, release any tension, Relax and breathe in. Connect with that inner light of the soul. Breathe out. Let that light fill your entire body. With these deep clearing breaths, each time you are going closer into that soul's sacred dwelling place within. Be aware of the light of God's presence here right now. Be aware of any shift of energy you feel. Absorb all of the blessings that are present in this stillness as we go deeper and deeper within. Realize that we are not alone, that we are here as one with God. Go into that place where God's universal consciousness dwells. Merge with that presence and become one with it. Right now, realize you can be aware of that union, and in that union realize that we are all one. Absorb and believe and have the courage to know God is always here with us, always present. We can always pray to find that happiness that comes from our inner connection with God. You can do this every day and bring this inner state of being into your everyday life. Believe this, breathe it in, absorb it right now, be it. You're able to change your life and find a way to be free. Thank God for this presence, for being with you now and always. And I'd like to close today with the Aramaic Lord's Prayer, saying, Father, Mother of the cosmos, shimmering light of all, focus your light within us as we breathe your holy breath. Enter the sanctuary of our hearts, uniting within us the sacred rays of your power and beauty. Let your heart's desire unite heaven and earth through our sacred union. Help us to fulfill what lies within the circle of our lives today. Forgive our secret fears as we freely choose to forgive the secret fears of others. Let us not enter forgetfulness, tempted by false appearances. For from your astonishing fire comes the eternal song, which sanctifies all, renewed eternally in our lives and throughout creation. We seal these words in our hearts, committed in trust and faith. Amen. Today's talk was based on Spiritual Mind Power Affirmations. That's Dr. Paul Leon Masters' book, and he now has, the university has released a new book called Meditation Dynamics. You can get these books and Mystical Insights if you go to metaphysics.com. There are also lectures there based on what we talked about today. Just go to metaphysics.com/Paul-Leon-lectures and you can get those for free and download them. You can also find out about some wonderful courses that are being offered. You can become a metaphysical minister. You can get a degree in metaphysics and join this wonderful and growing metaphysical community. And at University of Sedona, you can go to metaphysics.com and find out more about that. Spiritual Mind Power Affirmations was a book that we dealt with today, and the subject is a powerful one: unseen mysteries affecting your life. And it's a 130-page book of affirmations that help us shed old mental and emotion patterns, and it connects us with our higher universal mind for guidance. Now, I also post all of these lectures. I think I have 26 or 27 now, and they're all posted for free. You can go and listen to them if you go to mysticalperspectives.com. That's mysticalperspectives.com. I'm Reverend Cindy Paulos. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and joining me here. May God bless you now and always.